Welcome back, my community. This is Counsel AAA Abdallah Ali Al Baalawi, and this is part 4 of my 4-part series where I discuss how I got a foreign law degree and I was able to come to Canada and start a successful, or I believe, a successful law practice. So, in this last part, I'm going to be discussing about how to open a successful practice and how to grow it to, possibly making 6 figures or even millions of dollars, right? So before you get to that though, I would implore you to look at my first part where I discussed about the considerations you should look into before you even apply to law school and whether being a lawyer is even a career you want to do. Then the second part, I discuss about what happens when you are in law school in your first and second year if you do decide to take the 2-year LLB for graduates because you have your 4-year degree in Canada. What happens in those first 2 years, what you should do, in your summer breaks, etc., and how to prepare yourself for afterwards. That's my second video. My third video, I discussed about how you qualify in Canada, how you write your accreditation exams, how you are accredited in Canada, and how you write your bar exams, and how you get called to a bar in one of the provinces in Canada. So now you've been called, you're a lawyer, congratulations, you've survived 9 maybe years of heartache and stress and all of that. So now it's time to reap the rewards, eat the fruits of your labor, enjoy the fruits of your labor, and boom, what do? And this is the part where a lot of people get stuck. If, for example, you haven't been able to find a job, some people find jobs in big law firms and they're able to start a great career, build their career there, etc. But a lot of people are not able to get jobs because part of becoming a lawyer is that once you're done your bar exam, or even while you're writing your bar exams, you have to get something called the articles in Canada, which are about 10 months of being in a law firm where you get experience, and it's really difficult to get that. And what I would say to people is that you have to make sure you network. You have to make sure you go to events, you meet the other lawyers, because they're the ones who are going to help you find a position in a law firm for you to get your 10 months of experience. Now, there's a little trick that a lot of people don't know. If you have prior legal experience working at law firms and you have experience writing, contracts, etc., you can ask the Law Society to reduce your 10 months to only 5 months. And if you can do that, amazing, right? Or if you're, for example, a foreign lawyer who's coming to Canada and now you want to practice and get and qualify in Canada, you have to do articling. And you can reduce that from 10 months to 5 months. So make sure you actually call the Law Society and ask for something called abridgment. Abridgment, abridgement, abridgment. I think I spelled it correctly. So you call the Law Society, you ask if you are able to get, or if you qualify for abridgment, then you can reduce your 10 months of articling to only 5 months. There's also the option of studying at Ryerson University. They have a program where it's called the LPP, Licensing Practice Program, I believe. And you can do the LPP if you, for example, can't find a job, an articling job. But I do recommend for you to see if you can get an articling position because, you really get hands-on experience in the LPP, but the articling position does give you, I think, a little bit more business teachings of how to start a practice. So whichever route you choose, whether you're 5 months or 10 months articling, or maybe you go and you do the LPP, complete all of that, you qualify, you get called, and you are a lawyer now. So now what you gotta do is you gotta figure out whether you, again, wanna go work at a law firm or you wanna start your own practice. Obviously, I'm gonna be biased and I'm gonna tell you, listen, if you can handle it, do your own practice, because I'll be honest with you, yeah, you'll get paid good money in big law firms, but they will work you to death. Whatever money they pay you, just know that they are working you to death and they are getting every dollar out of you. You know, there's a lot of stories of people, you know, finishing work at 12 a.m., going to sleep and coming back to the office by 4 a.m. It happens, you know, not all the time, but it happens. But, you know, working at big law firms, you know, again, I've never worked in one, but there's also perks of working there, you know. You get obviously benefits, you get, you know, to meet other lawyers, you get a lot of mentorship, etc. So, you know, if you want to work for someone, great way to go. It just wasn't my cup of tea. And I would recommend to you, to be honest with you, if you want a work-life balance, it might be better for you to start your own thing, right? Because I always say, I'd rather make 100,000 and work 9 to 5 maybe, and take a time off whenever I want, than to be earning 250,000 and, you know, asking anytime I need a time off, asking anytime I need to go be with my family, asking someone for permission for everything, you know, and all that, and working like, I don't know, 20 hours out of a 24-hour day and working 7 days a week. Like, I wouldn't want that life. So I will give up some money to have that sort of life. So, I mean, if you are someone like myself, then this is kind of like the route I took to establish myself. So after I got called, I made sure that it was something I really wanted to do, because even though you get more freedom, it doesn't mean it's easier. It is still difficult to be a sole proprietor or a partner. You know, just starting a business overall is not easy. Reach out to your family and friends, or if you have some money of your own, because you will need some sort of startup capital. I started with about $5,000 as a loan from one of my friends. You know, thank you, D1 Prasad, for helping me out. But, you know, I started out with that loan, and I was able to, you know, start up my practice, you know, buy the necessary, you know, softwares that I need, and I'll discuss that a little bit later. You know, pay my first and last name of my rent for my small office I had, etc., etc. All right. So as I mentioned, because you're starting a business, you have to prepare yourself for any scenario. You could go bankrupt, or you could be very successful. You don't know what's going to happen in business. You have no clue. And anyone that has lived through the COVID-19 pandemic will know that life is unpredictable. You have no clue what's going to happen. So prepare yourself for the best or the worst. All of the options, all possibilities can happen because you are starting a business. Okay? You have to have the mental fortitude for that to be able to be successful in any business. Law is a business. Yeah, you help out people, etc., but it is a business. It is a job. You have to know that anything can happen in business, right? So if you are someone that wants to start your own business, just know that as an entrepreneur, anything can happen. So be prepared for that, all right? Now, what I did first before anything is that I prepared my marketing. I set up my website. I got myself some business cards, right? And that helped me to start, because when you start off, nobody knows you. And what you want to do is, at least if you have a business card, if you have a website, etc., if you have some social media presence, you can direct people to there and they can know more about you, because law is all about credibility and people thinking and knowing that you have experience. So if you're a new lawyer and you have no presence online, no business cards, nothing, people aren't going to think you are credible, because the first thing a customer does is they're going to start Googling you. So make sure you have some presence online. Make sure you have social media presence. Make sure you have a website. Make sure you have business cards, right? Make sure you are on Google Maps. Make sure, because they will Google you. So just make sure that you prepare your marketing, which is what I did. The second thing is, and this was a mistake I made, I did not get myself practice management software. And what practice management software is a software, and now there's a lot of them online that you can get, such as Clio, Practice Panther, or Cosmolex, I think is the new one going around, right? Get yourself practice management software, because what you can do is that right away when you start your practice and you get new clients and you manage invoices and you intake, etc., You can do all of that on this practice management software. It streamlines everything. It makes your job so much easier because, for example, whenever you do work, you can just go on there saying, okay, you can docket your time, and then at the end, it processes your invoice very easily. You accept payments through that practice management software. It is incredible. I love Practice Panther. It is what I use, but you can use Clio if you want. You can use Cosmolex or whatever it is out there, but make sure you get practice management software. I made the mistake of not doing it until 6 months in, and then I had to input all of my clients from the beginning. So make sure day one you have practice management software. Second is make sure you have some sort of accounting software. Some people, they use, I use QuickBooks. I find that great, but there's a lot of softwares people use. Some of the practice management softwares already have a legal accounting component in them, so you can use them. I love QuickBooks, but whatever way, just make sure you have an accounting software, or make sure you are keeping up with your accounting, because the Law Society will come after you if you lose trust funds. So you need to make sure you have an accounting software, okay? Next thing is, you need to make sure you call Law Pro, okay? Because Law Pro, right, is the firm which gives you insurance as a lawyer, right? So you need to make sure you call Law Pro and you let them know that, hey, I want to start my own practice. I need insurance, right? Because they need to insure you as a lawyer, okay? You cannot practice without Law Pro. So call up Law Pro right away when you want to start your practice, and they can get you insured, all right? You also want to make sure after you get called that you call the Law Society and tell them that you're starting your own practice, because the Law Society has certain things that you need to do to set up your practice, right? You have to let them know that you're setting up your practice, what name it is, etc. Okay, and then if you are opening trust account, because you can run a practice without a trust account. A trust account is where you keep money for clients while you're doing their work, and then when you're finished doing their work, you can pay yourself from their trust funds. Or sometimes you hold money in trust for clients. So when you open a trust account, you need to make sure you let the Law Society know. So visit the Law Society website in Ontario. It's lso.ca, and then they will let you know what are the steps you need to take to start to set up your practice. I will put some resources below on this video of that you can go to kind of like help you set up your practice, a step-by-step kind of guide, etc. It is on the LSO website. You can find it on your own, the Law Society of Ontario website, but I will put a link below so you can click that and you can find out more about how you can set up your practice, set up your trust account, send that information to the Law Society, and then start your practice. To get new clients, you need to build some sort of network. And obviously as a new person, you don't have that. So what you want to do is you want to reach out to family and friends. Let them know that you've started your practice. And those family and friends are going to be the first set of clients you will get a lot of the time. Another place you want to go to is you want to talk to senior lawyers, right? Just contact senior lawyers nearby in your area and go have lunch with them. Ask them to go out, buy lunch for them, buy coffee for them, sit down with them. If they practice another area of law, let them know that whatever area you're practicing, and tell them, hey, if you have too much work, you have an overload of work, send some to me, I can help you out. A lot of lawyers don't know, but a lot of work comes from other lawyers, right? If you befriend lawyers and you have a circle of lawyers, of friends, of colleagues that, let's say, do different areas of law that you don't do, that's where you will get a lot of your work. So make sure you communicate and you build a community, right, of lawyers around you, right? Senior lawyers, colleagues around your age range, or new calls, etc., right? You also want to make sure you sign up for referral services. So a referral service like the Law Society referral service, it costs about $300, really cheap. It really helps you get those phone calls coming in, right, into your practice. And then you can also contact JusticeNet. You can sign up for them. They're a little bit more expensive, but again, they refer work to you. And then there's also FlatLaw, where you can put your profile on there on flatlaw.ca, and people will search on there for flat rate pricing on different things, right, that they want done. So you make sure you find some sort of referral networks that can refer services to you, right? Should you get office space? To be honest with you, it's not mandatory, but you need to make sure you at least have a place where you can meet clients in a professional setting. So if, for example, you can set up a contract with a lawyer who has an office where whenever you have a client, you can use their boardroom, great, you know. As long as you have somewhere where you can meet clients in a professional basis, you don't really need an office, especially in the world we live in now where, you know, after the pandemic, COVID-19, you know, you can do a lot of things online, etc. You don't really need an office, but you just need to make sure wherever you set up your practice, if it's at home, make sure your office has a lock on it. You can lock that room because your client files have to be protected. Again, the Law Society doesn't play games. They will audit you. They need to make sure wherever you practice, you are keeping clients' files protected, right? And you are operating appropriately, okay? What should you do? What areas of law? If you're starting as a sole proprietor or, you know, just starting out your practice, I believe you should go into the retail areas of law, like criminal law, family law, immigration law, you know, that sort of thing, personal injury law, because it's very easy to get clients because everybody, you know, a lot of people have family issues. They get fired, so they have employment issues, you know, or let's say they get into a car accident, they have personal injury, you know, they get injured, they need help. Or maybe someone, you know, gets a criminal charge, you need to help them out. So there's a lot of clients for those areas of law. So you maybe want to choose that area of law if you are going to go into a sole proprietorship. Now, I would recommend to at least choose 2 areas, but there's a lot of people out there that recommend to focus on one area because you can focus your marketing and do a great job in that area and learn everything you need to know about that area and become very, you know, an expert. But you know, I think that if you do that, sometimes you pigeonhole yourself and then you're just known as that type of lawyer and then you can't do anything else. So I recommend to at least choose 2 areas of law and learn everything you need to know about those 2 areas of law. You know, Google, you know, blogs about, you know, criminal law blogs or employment law blogs. Read everything and anything you can find out there about that area of law. And, you know, because learning doesn't end at law school. You need to continuously learn. That's why the Law Society requires you to take continuing professional development, CPD courses, right, throughout while you're a lawyer. Every year you need to take a certain amount of CPD courses, right? So you can continuously learn. So once you've decided what areas of law you want to do, learn everything and anything you need to learn about that. Meet with senior lawyers who are expert in those areas and they'll give you kind of like, they'll give you some information about, you know, what it entails to practice in that area, etc. Make sure you keep a network of other lawyers who practice in that area because you will reach a point where you need to contact them to get assistance. It is critical. It is critical that you can get on a phone call and talk to someone who knows more about you so that they can help you out, so that you don't make, you know, mistakes that could cost you your license, right? And now you've, let's say, started your practice, etc. Just, you know, one thing I always tell people is that it can take time to start up, but once it rolls, it really gets rolling and the money, you know, just comes because people refer people to you. When you do a good job for someone, they will refer someone. So, you know, the ball starts rolling once you start building up a client base, right? And I always recommend, it's the last thing that I would recommend is that once you reach about 80 to 100,000 and you're about to be in the 6-figure stage, get yourself an assistant. You will be so busy and you will start making mistakes if you don't have an assistant. You will miss deadlines, etc. Get yourself an assistant so that you can start getting help on drafting things, you know, answering phone calls, scheduling things, etc., etc. It is critical and very important to get yourself an assistant if you want to grow and become a bigger law firm and earn those 6 figures or $1 million. I think that once you see yourself getting very busy, you as the main person need to focus on getting more business. And at that point, you need to start growing a team. So get yourself maybe an articling student that then you can teach to, you know, really grow your practice. Or maybe you want to get 1st year or 2nd year associates, or maybe an experienced lawyer to start, you know, building out your practice and start building your team. And then at that point, you know, you can earn that really good money, because if you don't have a team, it's really difficult to really grow, right? So that's how I was able to build my practice to where I am right now. I love it. I enjoy it. There are days where I don't, but in any profession, that's how it is. But If you have any questions, make sure you contact me at Counsel AAA on all my social media platforms. You can visit my website, abdallahaliA.com, or you can visit my law firm website, AAA Law Firm, AAALawOffice.com, AAALawOffice.com. You can visit that. I'll put a link below, and you can see my practice. You can contact me, and I can try to help you out to set up your practice. All right. I really enjoyed giving this information to you all. I hope you enjoyed it too, and I hope that you can set up your successful practice, and we can all be successful. Thank you so much for joining me, and make sure you continue watching my other videos to learn more about my, things in life, etc. that I really enjoy. Bye. I want to thank you for watching my videos, watching my content. I really appreciate you being part of this community. I really want to make people believe that if you believe, you can achieve. If you like my content, please subscribe, like this video, share it with your friends, and you can visit me on my other platforms under Counsel AAA. So thank you so much, and always remember, be kind to yourself. Thank you.